Hi, this is part 2 of day 6. We're going to be completing tables, graphing those points, and then sketching the graph. But before we get started, I'd like you to answer some questions down here at the bottom of the page for me. There's some prediction type questions here. What do you think the table will look like? What do you think the graph will look like? Will it be a line, a curve, increasing, or decreasing? I'd like you to answer these questions first before we get started. All right, problem number 4, we want to do a table. We already have the given domain of -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, and so we just plug those in one at a time. -3 times -2 plus 1, and yes, you'll show it to me in table format so it is organized. Do the multiplication first. -3 times -2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Then I plug in the -1. Negative plus the 1. -3 times -1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Then I plug in the 0. -3 times 0 plus 1 is 0 plus 1, which is 1. Plug in the 1. -3 times 1 plus 1 is equal to -3 plus 1, which is -2. And last but not least, the 2. So -3 times 2 plus 1, do the multiplication first. I have -6 plus 1, which is -5. So I have the f of x values now. What I'm going to do is take the x, f of x, which is an ordered pair. So I'm taking this -2, 7, and plotting it on the graph. -2 up 7, and put a nice point there. Then I have -1, 4, -1 up 4, and put a point there. Then I have 0, 1, put a point there, if I can. And then I have 1, -2. So 1, -2, I want to put a point right there. Not holding the stylus, right? And then I have 2, -5. 2, -5. Now it looks like these points all fall in a straight line, so what I'd like to do is get my straight edge, but I don't have one, and then draw in this line. So did you predict that it was going to look like a line? Did you predict that it was going to be decreasing? Let's take a look at another one. The next one we want to look at has absolute values in it. What I'd like you to do is write this function down on your paper. Then I would like you to, let me undo this. Then I would like you to complete the table. So I want you to write the function number 5 down. I want you to put this table on your paper, and I want you to do all the work. Then I want you to turn it back on and check your work. Before we do that, though, think in your head, what do you think the table will look like? What do you think the graph will look like? Will it be a line, a curve, increasing, decreasing? Those are questions just think about for a minute before you do the table. Okay, turn off the video, do the table, complete the graph, and let's see what you get. Okay, match your table with my table. Take a look at the points compared to my graphed points. Now what you need to do before you walk away from this problem is we do need to draw in, draw in the graph and make sure that you draw in the arrows at the ends of the graph. Did you think it would look like a V? Did you think that it had a decreasing side and an increasing side? Okay, the next one has a square in it. We have f of x equals -2 times the quantity x plus 3 squared plus 7. And I've given you a list of values to use for your x. I've given you your domain values, and you're defining the y values. Please copy this onto your paper, complete the table, and then graph. Then turn the video back on again to see if your table and graph match mine. Okay, check the table, see if your points match mine, And then take a look at the graph. Did you get your points kind of going in this U-shaped graph with an upside down U? Make sure you put arrows at the bottom of it. Alright, one more table and graph. I'd like you to write number 7 down on your paper. I would like you to complete the table for this function f of x equals 5/4 to the x power minus 2. Do the table, do the graph, then turn the video back on again to check your work. Okay, calculator is extremely helpful when having to use 5/4 to the x power. I substituted the values all in, keyed it in on my calculator, came up with the values that you see here, and then I wrote them as ordered pairs, and then I plotted them, getting a graph that looks something like this. Okay, that's it for day 6.